Here's a move that might surprise NBA fans. A former top 10 draft pick is about to take his talents overseas. And it's raising some serious questions about second chances in professional basketball. Cam Reddish, the athletic wing who was selected 10th overall in the 2019 NBA draft, appears ready to sign with Šiauliai, a Lithuanian basketball club, according to reporting from Donatas Urbonas at basketnews.com. This development marks a significant shift for a player who many believed still had untapped potential in the world's premier basketball league. But here's where it gets interesting, and maybe a little controversial. Reddish found himself without an NBA home back in March 2025, when the Los Angeles Lakers decided to waive him roughly 3 weeks before the regular season concluded. Since that moment, the basketball world has been eerily quiet about any potential NBA suitors showing interest in the 25-year-old forward. Was this simply a case of bad timing, or does it reflect something deeper about how the league views players who haven't quite lived up to their draft position? What makes this European move particularly intriguing is the built-in escape hatch. The proposed contract with the Lithuanian team would reportedly include an exit clause specifically for the 2025-26 season. This means Reddish could potentially return to the NBA, join a EuroLeague powerhouse, or explore other elite basketball opportunities if the right situation presents itself. It's essentially a basketball insurance policy. But is it a smart strategic move or a sign of a career in decline? There's an interesting NBA connection that adds another layer to this story. Šiauliai's head coach is none other than Darius Songaila, a long-time assistant with the San Antonio Spurs organization. For those unfamiliar with Songaila, he spent years learning under some of the most respected minds in basketball, including Greg Popovich. This coaching connection might provide Reddish with exactly the kind of development and structure that could reignite his professional trajectory. And this is the part most people miss about Reddish's recent NBA experience. It's been a roller coaster of near misses and what-ifs. Just this past winter, he was actually part of a trade package that would have sent him to the Charlotte Hornets in exchange for Mark Williams. However, that deal was ultimately rescinded, leaving Reddish back with the Lakers and uncertain about his future. After returning to Los Angeles, his playing time dwindled dramatically, appearing in just 2 games before his eventual release. Let's put his Lakers tenure into perspective for basketball newcomers. During the 2024-25 season, Reddish managed to see action in 33 games, starting 8 of those contests. His statistical production was modest, averaging 3.2 points per game over 17.8 minutes of court time. These numbers might seem underwhelming, but they don't tell the complete story of a player who was operating on a minimum salary contract after exercising his player option. Reddish's professional journey began with the Atlanta Hawks after being drafted straight out of Duke University. His path through the league has included stops with the New York Knicks and Portland Trail Blazers before landing with the Lakers. Across 254 regular season games in his NBA career, including 116 starts, he's maintained averages of 8.5 points, 2.7 rebounds, 1.2 assists, and 1.0 steals per game, over 23.1 minutes. But here's where it gets controversial. The shooting statistics that have defined and arguably limited Reddish's NBA trajectory. Throughout his professional career, he's connected on just 39.8% of his field goal attempts and a concerning 32.2% from three-point range. In today's NBA, where shooting efficiency often determines playing time and contract value, these numbers represent a significant obstacle for any wing player hoping to establish themselves as a reliable contributor. This raises a fascinating question that divides basketball analysts and fans alike. Are players like Reddish victims of unrealistic expectations based on draft position? Or do these statistics reflect fundamental limitations that prevent them from succeeding at the highest level? Some argue that the pressure and scrutiny placed on lottery picks create an environment where natural development becomes nearly impossible. Others contend that professional basketball is ultimately about production, regardless of where someone was selected. The European basketball landscape has increasingly become a viable alternative for NBA players seeking to rebuild their careers or find more consistent playing opportunities. Lithuania's basketball culture is particularly respected, with a rich tradition of developing talent and providing competitive environments for professional growth. For Reddish, this move could represent an opportunity to rediscover his confidence, refine his skills away from the intense scrutiny of NBA media, and potentially position himself for a future return to North American basketball. What makes this situation even more intriguing is the timing. At 25 years old, Reddish theoretically still has his prime athletic years ahead of him. The question becomes whether a change of scenery, different coaching philosophy, and reduced pressure can help unlock the potential that made him such an attractive prospect coming out of college. So here's the million-dollar question that's bound to spark debate. Is Cam Reddish's move to Lithuania a smart career reset that could eventually lead him back to NBA success? Or is this simply the natural conclusion for another lottery pick who couldn't translate college potential into professional production? And perhaps more controversially, does the NBA's current structure give players like Reddish adequate opportunities to develop? Or does the league's win-now mentality push promising young talent overseas before they've had a real chance to mature? What do you think? Are we witnessing a savvy career move by a player who's taking control of his basketball destiny? Or is this another cautionary tale about the harsh realities of professional basketball expectations? The basketball world will be watching to see how this European chapter unfolds, and whether it leads to redemption or serves as a final reminder of what might have been.